All right, in this video, I'm going to show you kind of the basics of how a small engine carburetor works. And if you were going to clean it, kind of the steps you would take to clean it. My last one, we took the bowl off the last one, and I showed you the bad fuel. That was my fault. I've let the snowblower now sit for like a year and a half. I should have drained the fuel, or I should have put like a fuel stabilizer in there or something. Anyways, so this is the bowl. So just say this is on the engine. As fuel enters this fuel inlet, it will go in and it starts to fill this bowl up. As this bowl fills up, this float in here will rise because the float is floating in the fuel. And then as it floats or rises, you'll see there is a pin and a spring in there. And once this gets to a point, or it's top dead center, or however you want to say it, the fuel that is coming through the inlet will stop because the point on this pin will sit in its seat and keep the fuel from filling the bowl more. Now, a lot of times in carburetors, when they do get gummed up like this one, a lot of times the float will get gummed up first. I'm not saying this always happens, but what will happen is the float will get stuck open like this. And then now what happens is the fuel that's coming through will just constantly fill, and eventually it will come out from inside at the orifice. Or the float will actually stick closed. But in this carburetor, the float was fine. It's a little sticky, but it was working. Our issue is there is passages through here, through this middle area, that comes up right to that brass fitting inside there in the middle. Because what happens is, as the motor is on certain strokes, it will create vacuum. And when it creates vacuum through the intake tube, it is sucking air through the carb. And it's creating that vacuum and that suction, it is taking fuel out of the bowl and it's going through here, up through the passage, out of that orifice. And when it hits that orifice, it atomizes in the air and then sucks it through the intake up into the combustion chamber, and then boom. So what's going on with this? So that's the basics of kind of how it works. I'm no expert, but this is just my understanding. Now, to clean this, what I would do is, let's just back up for a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. What's wrong with this carburetor is it is not getting fuel. The fuel is not going through these passages up to here. And I'll show you why. Now, if you see in there, it is very gummed up. Now, there is a needle in there that you can actually unscrew. I don't know if it's really called a needle, but it's an orifice passage. You unscrew that, and it's a brass fitting, and you can scrub it and clean it. Now, what I would do if I was going to clean this is I would take it all apart and everything out of it, and I would soak it overnight in carbon choke cleaner. You can buy a jug of it and soak it, take it out the next day. And then the next day you take a can of carbon choke cleaner, spray her down really good, take some compressed air with a small air nozzle, blow it all the way out, and then put it back together. Put it back on. I'll be honest with you, I've cleaned carburetors before, and I'm no expert, but I've cleaned them 2 to 3 times because every time I put it on something else, yes, it would run now, but now my motor pulsates. Take it all apart, clean it out again, you find more junk coming out of it. Put it all back together again, now it only runs with the choke on. These days, carburetors are so cheap that you can just order a carburetor. This carburetor I found on the Jungle site for like, I don't know, I think it was like $22. And my time of taking this apart, soaking it, putting it back together, putting it on, not working, doing it again, is worth more than that $21. So I'd rather just buy one and put the new one on than try to clean and rebuild this. Yeah, it's fun, but you got to think here. This gasket here, this is bad. So I'm gonna have to order a gasket. Not the end of the world. And then what you do is you just pull this pin right here. See, pin. And then the float will come out, and that pin, see that? There you go. This is what is actually going to stop the fuel. And you can see that is pretty dirty. Now you got to scrub that clean, take this all apart, soak this. A lot of times these floats can get bad and they get weak and they crack and they fill up with fuel, and they'll never float. They'll just stay submerged. Then you got to clean all this out. I mean, it's tedious. Unless you're the guy that just wants to do it, go right ahead. Otherwise, if it was, you just need to get it going now, just order a new one. You can get one from whatever manufacturer your snowblower is, lawnmower, whatever. That's what I would do. But I just want to give you guys a quick lowdown on how they kind of work, the cleaning process. Is it worth cleaning? I don't know. That's pretty much up to you if that's something you like doing. I've done a lot of these. I used to really like them, but now I'm just always in a hurry to do things. So I just buy new ones, and you know what? And then I let the gas sit in there again anyway. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, you guys have a good one.